Did you guys let Joel talk so I can interrupt him?
Right?
What are you doing? You gonna do this?
Shut up, Joel! Welcome to the Weekly Bulls panel at New York Comic Con!
You had your moment. I let you say hi.
All right. For those guys who don't know who we are a weekly podcast on Twitch and on iTunes and SoundCloud whenever they remember to upload it, in which we talk about pop culture, comic books, and all kinds of good stuff. All of us are YouTubers. I'm Betty the Comic Story, and that is Comics Explained. That is Joel, kind of.
It's Cape Joel.
That's Cape Joel. These two together make ComicPOP. I like how Tiffany gets the cheer, but Rob did not.
No. I got cheers, right?
Yeah. Okay. Does Joel get anything?
No.
I just understand cheers, man.
Hey, you got 3. And since we got so rudely interrupted by you people cheering, our newest member to the team, that sea monster, Caitlin on the end over here.
No, having said that, can we get some amazing cheers for our host?
No.
Benny the Comic Story.
See? There we go. I got one.
This is, in the industry, this is called vamping, as people come through the door.
Yeah.
But yes, welcome to the show.
I don't even know what
Vamping
that
is when you da-da-da-da-da-da while you do something over there.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Okay, so opening thoughts. All right, so what do we think about New York Comic Con so far? What's our favorite aspect of New York Comic Con right now?
Not getting a text message. Let me silence
This
that.
right now?
Yeah, I think this is
the
easily the best part of New York Comic Con.
Right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Literally.
This is the best part of New York Comic Con, but I think overall, I love coming to New York Comic Con because you get to be in an amazing city, meeting amazing writers. Everyone actually comes to this one. You don't have to play the game of who showed up and who didn't show up.
Yeah.
I say that, but everyone probably has one writer who didn't show up to this, so everyone's like slightly disappointed already.
Yeah.
But that just overall, the New York Comic Con experience for me is an incredible experience because of everything that just happens in general here.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest things is, like I was going around, I don't know, how many of you guys were here yesterday? Okay. Did you guys get a chance to see that huge photo shoot they had out back with all the cosplayers? No. Oh, it was amazing. I've got pictures on my phone. It was so. No, I mean like all the cosplayers. Like
I'm pretty sure it wasn't all of them.
No,
There was not a giant memo going out. See, she's in cosplay and she did not go.
Okay, not every single cosplayer, but there was.
That's your normal outfit?
Cosplay.
Oh, that's you?
Cosplay is the best part.
Oh, so you're like Caitlin who dresses like that every day.
Yeah, that's right. People were like, "You're in cosplay," and I'm like, "No, I'm just awesome."
And hot. I'm very warm right
Cosplay's the
now.
best part, especially how into character people get. Like there was a huge group of Luigis and a giant group of Deadpools in Artist Alley having a wrap-off. It was the best. I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of the Team Fortress 2 cosplayers who have been put out of work because of Overwatch, and they're protesting. They took their jobs, unfortunately, but you know, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes.
They gotta step up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Sal,
one of my
was your
favorite.
moment?
Okay, the show has been amazing, but my favorite thing that happened at New York Comic Con happened after New York Comic Con when we were walking to the Valiant offices to do our live episode on your channel.
Which if you saw that last night, I'm sorry, it was horrible.
Yeah, sorry about that. But while we were there, while we were waiting for Ben from ComicPOP to arrive, he was walking down the street. I'm going to tell Ben's story without him. But my
Isn't he right there?
Our associate Ben.
If you like ComicPOP, Ben is standing in the middle of the room.
There he is.
So Ben's walking down the street, and he's trying to make it to the Valiant thing because he was picking up all of our luggage for us before, so that we could actually make it to the show on time. And Ben's walking down the street, and who does he see in front of him but a tall, gangly young man with a rainbow hair? It's Max Landis. And Ben's like, "Oh my God, it's Max Landis! I gotta mess with this guy." So he says aloud, "Oh my God, this guy's got hair like Max Landis." Max Landis turns around and he looks at him like, "Are you out of your mind?" And Ben's like, "I think you're great." And he's like, "Oh, okay, if you think I'm great, then yeah." I think that was probably one of my favorite moments, and I wasn't even there. Ben has texted me like, "I see Max Landis." I'm like, "Well, go say hi." He's like, "I made fun of him instead." I'm like, "Oh, good idea." That's what you got to do at New York Comic Con if you want to take anything away from this, is attack your betters.
Absolutely, and then make sure you leave a business card with them so they know
So that
where
they can
to find
associate
them.
your brand with a really boneheaded decision.
Exactly. For some of us, when we're awkward, insulting humor is just our default.
Yeah.
But here's the question. When he did that, did he then go, ComicPOP thinks you suck?
No.
I think he said comic historian thinks you suck.
That's right.
That
I think that's
would
what he
probably
said.
be fitting.
I'm not
Yes,
sure.
I can see
That
that. So,
explains a lot of those comments yesterday.
Yeah. It was
Joel, this is your technically second, but we don't count under the age of 10 coming to trip. So what is your
We don't
favorite part
count
about New York
Florida.
Comic Con?
What now? You better answer this question right, because this will be the only time Vinny will not interrupt you.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Here it comes.
My favorite moment of New York Comic Con.
So Caitlin, what did you...
Did not miss a beat with that.
Like we rehearsed it.
Absolutely interrupted, sir. My favorite moment of New York Comic Con happened like literally not 10 minutes ago. We were signing autographs, and literally right next to me was the original blue and black Power Ranger. And anyone who knows me knows that I was a huge Power Rangers fan growing up, and still kind of am. And just think that if I could go back in time and tell 6-year-old me, one day you're going to be signing autographs next to 2 Power Rangers. 6-year-old me would not believe 24-year-old me from the future, and then would probably ask, how did you get here, 24-year-old me from the future? Because I was a smart kid like that. I can't do that.
It was actually really cute because Joel was like, "That's the Blue Ranger." I'm like, "You should go say hi to the Blue Ranger." And he's like, "No, I bet people say hi to him all the time."
And Yost looks sharp too, like he's got a suit and everything. Like the dude looks really.
So wait, we stood next to him for an hour. Literally, from me to Rob distance, and you didn't even say, how's it going?
He was too busy signing autographs and talking to his legions of fans.
But you didn't take 2 seconds just to be like,
Impose, man.
"Hey, a huge fan, I gotta run." On the way out the door.
I don't want my first interaction with him to be a bad one, man.
I did stare at him for a really long time, and you could tell he was just running over all the different scenarios that could happen if he said hi to him. I really wanted to take a Snapchat and just slowly zoom in on his face.
She's not wrong, everybody. She's really not wrong.
No.
So Joel's favorite moment in New York Comic Con was an awkward moment staring at his idol.
I guess Joel's favorite moment was a missed moment.
Yes.
It was a
Missed
missed
moment?
opportunity.
That's most
Like,
of my
he
favorite
was right
moments.
there. He was right there.
I said, like, do you
could've
really
just-
think you'll be alongside him again?
Yeah.
I mean, if we just
You just killed him. He was like,
You could have just been like, "Hey man, I love your work."
Wait, Joel, you realize that next year if we do this, they don't plan the exact same signing panels. It's not like they're going to be like Blue Ranger and the Weekly Polar side by side all the time.
You may have a point there.
Joel's like, "I gotta go for a second, everybody. If you'll excuse me."
yeah, I'm going to go with
Run
Faust.
back over.
David
I'm going to run back
Yost.
to that signing area.
Let's all run back.
We're taking this panel on the road.
Anyone who
Yeah.
sees Yost after this is going to be like, yo, you know, Joel wanted to say hi, but
He's like, "Who the hell is Joel?"
exactly.
That awkward guy that was staring at you with the signing booth next to you, that's Joel.
He's like,
I actually think the response will probably be, "What, you mean the Caped Joel? That is my favorite."
He does great cooking shows. All right, so Caitlin, what was your favorite part about New York Comic Con so far? Now that we've had 2 full days instead of only 1.
Oh, wow. I have so many favorite moments.
Okay, pick one.
Yeah. All I can think about was when I went into the exhibit hall and I completely blacked out, and then I woke up and all my money was gone, and there were just bags of stuff around me. And I went completely bloodthirsty for merch.
Wait, hold on. Is that when you asked me for my credit card for some weird reason that you wouldn't tell me?
No, that was for something else.
It was for
Totally
science.
unrelated to that blackout.
Rob, are you reloading your vape right now?
No, I am getting ready to vape right now.
Watch the weekly poll.
If anybody,
happening.
if everybody's wondering, he has special permission to vape in here because
Does he
he does
really?
it on the show. He did.
Yeah, he does. We,
I
we,
literally asked him, "Hi,
Unleash the dragon, Rob.
oh yeah, this dragon's
All right, so
gonna be
before
no,
Rob unleashes
sorry.
the dragon, though, let's go ahead and talk about what's actually important. Not what we did at New York Comic Con, but the fact that Marvel Now has officially started.
Yes.
And DC Rebirth has just gotten through the entire summer. So I recently asked this on one of my videos on my channel that I said I was going to be doing things like I was going to be asking the question, who won the summer? So
I didn't think anybody cared.
So I was going to ask the question, and before I go to Rob and get his opinion, because he has a very interesting opinion right now about the DC Rebirth versus the Marvel Now situation, let's have a cheer if you think Marvel Civil War II wins out the summer. Okay.
All right. After both of you finish, we will.
Let's have a cheer if you think DC Rebirth took the summer. Now here's the kicker. After 4 months of DC Rebirth going and Rob saying I'm not going to read it because I'm a Marvel fanboy, I finally got him to read it.
Dude, it is okay, here's why I love DC Rebirth. All right. Okay. For people who are like old school DC fans, all right, how many of you guys read Teen Titans? Yes. That story was amazing. How many of you guys are reading Green Lanterns right now? Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz. Okay.
Okay. 4. Yeah.
I imagine like a lot of the hardcore Green Lantern fans are probably reading Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns. But the issue was I had never closely followed the Green Lantern mythos. And I sat down and I asked Benny, I said, hey man, if I want to sit down and I want to read Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns for DC Rebirth, what do I need to read? He's like, everything. Like all of like from Green Lantern Rebirth by Jeff Johns to like right until now.
By Jeff Johns.
By Jeff Johns.
Everything by Jeff Johns. And I was like, I don't know about that. So he's like, okay, read Green Lanterns and tell me what you think. So I sat down and I read Green Lanterns, and it's the Green Lantern Civil War is like all you really need to know. You could read a little bit about Jessica Cruz beforehand, but the great thing about Sam Humphries is he gives you a great starting off point with it. Like he gives you the rundown of things, and he tells you Jessica Cruz's story as it goes on. That she's not 100% sure of herself, her experience with the Power Ring. You know, it forced her in a situation where she lost what little confidence she had. She was already terrified, you know, because she saw her friends killed. I mean, she was the least likely person to ever be picked for a Green Lantern ring, you know, and she still has it. And so the story is kind of a journey of self-discovery of her realizing that there's a reason why she has that ring. There's a reason why she stopped being Power Ring and she's a Green Lantern now. And that to me is a beautifully written story. And it's great the way he does it, you know, because the Red Lanterns, how many of you guys love the Red Lanterns? Yes, the Red Lanterns are a great group. People love them. You know,
I like how the Red Lantern's got a bigger cheer than the Green Lantern.
Yeah. Next star represent.
Go villains!
Right.
loves the Red Lanterns. But to me, that's why DC Rebirth is so good, is because yes, it's a jumping off platform, but it gives you a continuation. So if you've been reading Jeff Johns' entire run, if you've been reading Hal Jordan from Green Lantern Rebirth to now, you know, then all you're doing is continuing along with the story of Hal Jordan, with the Green Lanterns advantage through Adventure with Oblivion, during, you know, you're continuing the story of Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, those are characters that you like. For you, it's just a continuation of what you've been seeing. But if you're a new fan, you can jump on and you can be part of the conversation that existing fans are having about the Green Lantern mythos of the moment. That's why I think it's so fun. That's why I love, and that's just one facet. That's not anything else.
Is Rob boring?
No,
Sal?
I think Green Lantern's is
Is this the moment where you would have just left and Tiffany would have popped into the screen?
Where I would have opened up my Coke Zero. They don't provide that here at New York Comic Con. It's all the Diet Coke today, but fine. This would have been like, cool, man.
Yeah, cool, man. Like, your opinion has value.
Yeah, but like, what about Batman though? And you'd be like, well.
No. I like Batman, and see, this is.
I'm sensing a butt coming on.
That was like a big butt.
Yeah.
This is what's cool to me. And
I
I
like big
actually.
butts and I cannot lie.
Yeah, you other brothers can't deny. You can't deny. This is what I love about it. Like my first inclination when they launched Rebirth was, okay, Batman. The Batman series and the Superman series are going to have the best stories. Action comics and detective comics have the best stories, and that's what blew me away.
Well, hold on. Action versus Superman's debatable.
Yeah, Tomasi
No,
Gleason, I think Trump Jurgens only a little bit, but
Son
yeah.
of Superman's cool. It's cool to see him. Okay, this is what I love most.
He
about,
went to the country fair. You can't top that story.
That single issue.
Up and away, Rob.
This is what?
Up and away.
Yes,
That
up
was
and away.
heartwarming
I knew
as
it.
shit. It was amazing.
I love Lois Lane's response.
Oh,
I love the response to that. I knew it. No, this is what solidified it for me. For Superman, and I don't know how many of you guys feel the same way, but for me, Superman is not the guy who's trying to figure things out. Superman is the guy that has it figured out. Superman is the guy that's like, I know what's going on here. I've done so, and this is why I think action's better than the Superman solo story arc. One of the great things that sold me on Superman was during the Superman solo series when he was talking to his son and he said, you always have to do the right thing even if no one's watching. That sold me on, okay, this is a pre-Flashpoint Superman, I'm down. The reason why I think Action Comics is better is because during the fight with Doomsday, he kept referencing when he died.
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, the last time I did this, I died. He even told, what was Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman.
He told him, like,
Yeah.
I died last time this happened. Because the question was like, how'd you beat him last time? He's like, I died.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened.
He should have been like, it didn't
I went
quite
into
work out so well.
I went into a healing coma, and then there were
I got a mullet.
Yeah, I grew a mullet. It was a dark time for me.
How do you say that? Like if Wonder Woman comes along and it's like, man, Superman, this is such a formidable threat. It seems like you're the only one who can beat him. How'd you beat him last time? It's like, well, he beat me to death.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But to be fair, she wasn't there for no reason.
that's true. Oh, and that's
If he had an enchanted blade to cut Doomsday's regenerating flesh with, perhaps it might have been a different story.
That totally worked out well in Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah. Well, no, she used a lasso and restrained him so that the person weak to kryptonite could wield kryptonite and then die.
yeah.
Spoilers, by the way, for the movie we all saw a year ago.
That wasn't out a year ago. That was March.
Was it really? I feel like we've been crapping on it for like a couple of years now.
I think we were crapping on it a year ago, but it hadn't come out yet.
I think my hate for Man of Steel is just blended into one big thing.
They say
A lot
that
of
if
people
something
feel that
is painful or boring, it feels like time goes by a lot.
I will say, we saw BBS in 3D, which was like, thanks.
you were with me in California.
I'm saying, yeah.
We were at Disneyland when we
That was an enchanting day, and
you-
then
if
it
you-
ended
if
with
you-
Batman versus Superman.
If you ever want to ruin a
in
trip
3D.
to Disneyland,
Yeah.
go see Batman v Superman immediately after you're done.
Yeah.
Come out of that on like a sugar high, and you're like, we
Oh.
did Small World, and
Actually,
we did a roller coaster.
I will say,
and
our-
then fall asleep in the first hour.
Our opinion of that might be skewed because Rob and I decided to ride the log flume at 8 p.m.
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And we were like, Splash Mountain, you don't
No,
get
no.
really wet on Splash Mountain, right? And they're like, no, this is the splash is just part of the ride. There's no legitimate splash. You don't get really that
No,
wet.
you're saying it wrong. So they get to Splash Mountain, and they're like, we're all going to ride. And I say, no, I've done this before. It's a
not gonna
very wet ride.
Yeah.
I'm not getting on. And then Rob and Sal go, it can't be too bad.
Yeah. So Rob went up front, I went behind him.
So if you ever get on Splash Mountain, you put the heaviest guy in the front, and it's going to dive into the water.
it's literally going to...
So Rob sat in front.
now, here was a kicker after this. Faust and Stephanie were in the back.
Yes.
They were bone dry.
Yeah, because they both
They
ate...
got out and they were like, well, that was a fun roller coaster kind of ride. Like,
Yeah, they both weigh 160 pounds soaking wet together.
And then I get home, like we're on the way back, and I'm like, man, dude, like I'm not feeling too good. My throat's kind of scratchy. And then Benny's like, hey, Rob, you're gonna be on this episode of the Weekly Poll. I was like, no, I got a cold, man. I'm super sick. Thank you, Disneyland.
Yeah, but definitely see BVS soaking wet in
Yes.
the night, in the
But
dark.
anyway, back to my spiel.
Yes,
Back to-
continue,
Yeah,
please.
Back to
For
focusing on
the record, just if that mic works, I'm saying this out loud right now in standard fashion where I always interrupt Rob mid-thought so we can see if he gets back to it.
Exactly.
But if that microphone works, we do want to do a Q&A with you guys towards the end of this, like the last 20 minutes. So
Yes, we definitely do.
Yeah.
But no, this is why I love this. Actually, comics I think has a cooler story because Superman references the fact that he died. He references that he can't make the same mistakes, that he did last time, and that I think is kind of indicative. I think that's Dan Jurgens kind of sitting down. Oh, I'm sorry, not Dan Jurgens. Who was
Yeah,
writing
Jurgens was writing Action Comics.
yeah,
running
Jurgens on Action, Tomasi's on.
Tomasi's on Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. I always got them switched for
Yeah.
some reason. But I think that was Jurgens.
Superman's the one with the red cape.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just helping you out.
He
I
was
thought-
saying
I
really
thought-
like,
I thought-
really?
I
You're
thought-
asking me that right now?
No, I thought Superman was the guy.
No, I know.
Was the bad guy in Gotham, the guy with the things in Gotham.
Oh, the ears?
Yeah. That's Superman. Sure. Keep
And then
going.
Batman's a guy with super strength and fly.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
get him right.
No,
That's
Batman's the one with the whip.
Okay.
Wait, where are you going?
I actually was going to say Lasso, but I thought Catwoman because we were still talking about Batman. Because I am so bat-centric.
I was like, what superhero's
I'm
got
like
a
the whip and the codpiece and the ball gag. No?
But that's what I think.
This explains so much. Sal's been
Yeah.
watching the wrong Batman this
Yeah.
whole time.
Hey, the costumes in those movies are amazing.
Is the one with the whip the one that wears the fedora and is a teacher?
Oh, yeah, that's Batman.
Is that? Yeah, I think that's Batman.
And it's like a period piece.
Yeah, it's
I apologize right now if anyone really doesn't know what DC's like lineup is, and they're
Yeah.
really sitting there like,
They're like, yes, let's
I
hear
don't
about this
remember
week's
any of
comics.
that.
Like we got Wonder Bat, we got like Aqua Lantern, we got like all these weird characters
They're sweet.
running around.
Aqua Lantern is my favorite.
So Spider-Man's cool. Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, having said that, to me, like all new, all different Marvel isn't terrible. There are some great things that came out. For example, how many of you guys got into all new, all different Marvel, and you were curious what's going on with the multiverse? Is it a reboot? Is it not a reboot? How many of you guys were confused by that? All right.
Everyone who was still reading Marvel, which apparently isn't very many.
Yeah.
The Ultimates line of comics answered that question. You know, you had Blue Marvel, you had Black Panther, you had Carol Danvers, you had all of them. They took off into space. You know, Galactus became the Lifespringer, whatever. Galactus runs into Molecule Man, and Molecule Man's like, here's where everything stands. Secret Wars happened. Some people remember everything before Secret Wars, some don't. It's a reboot. It's kind of a reboot. It depends on what you want to call it, which I think, you know, I didn't really care for the wishy-washy thing, but that told you where things stood at the moment. All the cosmic entities are back. If you read Jim Starlin's Infinity finale, Adam Warlock became the Living Tribunal. You know, well, I mean, that's the answers were there.
We also don't know if that's in canon because Marvel just lets Jim Starlin do whatever he wants.
It is in canon until somebody else comes back, which they will.
Well, yeah, Al Ewing could be like, nah.
But you know, just to go on that, because you said all the answers are in that book, and there was no indication I was actually in that book, which is why I have now read Ultimates. But it seems to be another thing that Marvel's doing with Civil War II, without going too deep into it, because it's still current, and I'm pretty sure not everyone's fully caught up on it.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure half you people have just stopped reading it after issue 3. But all the answers to Civil War II are in Captain America. There's no indication on that.
Yeah, wow, that one kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it, with Nick Spencer being like, hey, guess what? This is what you thought was going on, but this is what's really going on.
And it's a way better story.
It's like that's the plot hole that Bendis shoved everything into. They hid it in Captain America #5. And when I read it, I was both satisfied that I at least had some answers, but also livid that that's where they put it.
Yeah.
Because Civil War II could have been good.
Well, that was kind of the irritating thing to me, is it seems so disheveled and so organized. You know, when it comes to comic books, you know, and you guys know this, when it comes to comic books, people like good stories, and they don't care who's writing them. There's names we trust, there's names that we don't trust, but people don't really care who write it. But for those people who are getting into comics, they need a place to start. You know, I mean, for the person who was just now getting into all new, all different Marvel, they needed a place to start with. But if they sit down and they read Civil War, and they see all new, all different Wolverine, which says it's a tie-in to Civil War II, you know, and then it's just what you guys are doing. You guys are going to end up fighting each other. Cool, that's my tie-in. Peace. Like that's not a tie-in. The great thing about tie-ins is that from the time you open the page, the first page, you know, to the time that you close the comic book, it's entirely immersed in the Civil War II conflict. And when you have stories that are contradicting what's going on in Civil War II, and no answers are being given as to, you know, how to reconcile those things, it creates complete and total confusion. You DC fans know, you know, that's what happened with DCU. Well, in Justice League, you know, Batman's the god of knowledge, Superman's the god of strength.
Got so many questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is Batman the god of knowledge and Jim Gordon?
Yeah.
And then you open Detective Comics Batman, well, it's Jim Gordon's running around as Batman in like a Batman mech suit. And Superman is
With
going
bunny
against
ears.
Superman. With bunny ears, yeah. And so it's like how do you square that circle? And, you know, people who, you know, for those of us who have been reading for a long time, we're like, okay, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Things change. The status quo will always come back. If you're a new person, you're like, I don't understand what's going on right now. Like, I'm totally confused. Like, I don't get it. And it throws them off. You know, sometimes it sends them away from an otherwise great series of publications.
I don't think you necessarily even have to be a new reader for continuity faux pas to really drive you away. Like, I've been reading Marvel for a long, long time, and I kept up with everything up until Civil War II. And then once I started to get into Civil War II, I found myself lost and having to go back and reread things and having to go back and find things and trying to figure out where my continuity was, where my tie-ins fit into all of it. Because a tie-in is supposed to help develop, pace, and expand the universe and the current story. And in Civil War II, it just destroyed it. It's like it shredded continuity. And it drove me completely away just because it was a tremendous amount of effort to keep up with a story that was already mediocre and that I had already written off in my mind due to the way that it was marketed as just a marketing content push. And because of that myriad of things, it drove an old school fan away. And I'm sure it did that with a lot of people, especially when you're looking at just the numbers. I mean, DC is whipping Marvel.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's sales numbers.
Yeah.
We can only take sales numbers for a grain of salt. They don't mean that much.
Well, also, like, once Loot Crate makes an exclusive comic with it, it drives the sale numbers out.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, I don't even know what's
and then
happening.
You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's interesting
more
because Marvel right now, to me, is flying without a net, and they have no fear because they have all their
Movies.
media backing it up. So they're just let's just do stuff, and
That should breed
that's-
creativity.
it
That
Well,
should be
I
really
think the
cool.
yeah, but
problem
it
is-
doesn't always. It doesn't always, and that's.
Well,
if
we
you
know
look
it
at it from
doesn't.
that perspective, it's really fascinating because they're just like, here, Bendis, have an event. Let's do something else over here. Let's do something else over here because up on that wall we got this little emergency box that's Molecule Man, and we can hit that at any time, and we could just fix everything, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
That's the thing, is that I would actually argue that that is the net. the net is their giant piles of movie money, and the fact that Disney is fully supporting them, and the fact that they can just put out lazy content and nothing bad will happen to them.
I mean,
Well,
it,
I mean,
it could
that's-
be conceived as being lazy, but I think it's more just almost, it's weird, it's almost like the Image model in a sense, where they're like, Bendis, do it. Just do it. We're just going to trust you because you've been doing this for forever. And maybe they'll learn a little lesson from this. Maybe they're going to look back and be like, maybe that doesn't work for Marvel. It works for Image because Image is doing their own thing over there. But Marvel, we gotta get some stuff in order here, and then we'll go forward.
Yeah.
Now,
All of a sudden, this fragrance washed over me,
I
and
know,
I had
right?
to check.
yeah, no. What is the flavor?
Yeah, what
It's
is
bubblegum?
it?
Oh, that is
Crunch toast?
Crunch
Yeah,
toast?
It's
Because they can't legally use toast crunch?
No. It's basically cinnamon. No, so here's this is why people like me who have been reading Marvel for a long time get kind of upset about all different Marvel, because Marvel's made some incredible stories in the past. Like you guys know, the original Civil War, amazing. You know, yes.
Yes.
That's subjective.
Pretty.
See, 5 people agree with you on that one.
It was amazingly
How
successful.
many of you guys loved the original Civil War events?
Well, don't side with him. Then
I
it
like
look
that
like an ass.
corner, that entire group said no.
No, we do not
They were
love
like,
Civil War.
no. Tony Stark acted completely out of character. it led to One More Day. It is garbage. Did you read Frontline? He's a war profiteer.
So that's your side of the room.
Yeah, that's your side. Oh.
There are reasons not to, but here, the reason why Civil War was cool was because at the time, the country, the United States, was having this debate, freedom versus security.
Oh, it was great. It was a great idea.
It was a great idea, and people who were reading comics who would have otherwise been totally removed from that discussion, they saw Marvel, the superhero communities fighting each other. Oh, I got to read that, and they tore it open, and it's Captain America. No, we should not have to register. We should not have to reveal our powers, our addresses, our names, our identity, so on. And Tony Stark was like, yes, you should, because if you don't, someone somewhere is going to do something stupid, and the Days of Future Past is going to happen. And so that was his argument.
That'd be pretty. Was it actually?
No, he did not say Days of
in the main.
But there was one day where he's like, there's a lot of different futures out there, and something will happen whereby humanity will turn on humans.
Right.
And they will
Yeah, he's like, I've seen them. There's either a really cool one with Sentinels, or there's a really cool one that's like cyberpunk. Where everybody's in shock.
And there's a whole bunch of the X-Men, and I don't know, they don't seem to be around anymore.
Yeah, and
in
for
any of
whatever
these features.
reason,
Yeah.
there's a lot of X-Men, and all of us are in graves.
But this actually goes to where, so back then, Marvel was a lot safer. They felt safe with what they were doing. They tried to do the safe route. And now they're really getting trial and error where they just throw books out there. They're almost like, you will read this book. We don't care if you like it. You're going to read it.
Can you believe we are all crapping on Marvel during the Cup of Joe
Whoa,
panel
hang
right
on,
now?
hang on. We can't all crap
No, but
on
what I'm
Marvel.
saying is, and this is, I'm trying not to crap on it. If you let me get to where it's point.
All right, fair enough.
Jeez, it's
All right.
almost
Yeah,
like we
clear
constantly interrupt each other all the time. I don't understand how that works.
It's like this is the show.
Say, Champions was good.
Yes.
Caitlin, you stole my thunder.
Whoa,
Someone
whoa.
turn her mic off. No.
It's my thunder now, Benny.
No, what I was going to say is now they're getting a little...
that aren't tying in right now, like Thor and Ant-Man and Daredevil, they're still really solid.
Right, they have some solid books, but it seems, and this is where I'm getting iffy on it, because I looked at Champions, and I read Champions, and Champions is really good. It's a really good book.
Yes.
But they're still not just giving back what we want.
Hey, hold on. I'm reading Doctor Strange right now, and I'm loving every issue.
Okay,
of
but
it.
that's different.
Doctor
Loving
Strange
every-
is amazing.
Right?
It's amazing.
Did you not love that annual?
Okay,
where
Doctor
Clea
Strange is
comes
great,
back?
Miss Marvel's still doing good, Deadpool's
I'm
still
just
good.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm
I love
saying.
Deadpool. Deadpool was like, everyone's fighting. Oh well, we're going to move on.
By the way, Doctor Strange, Last Days of Magic
Yes.
loses magic.
Yep.
And he's using magic in Civil War 2.
I know.
You're like,
I know.
Well, yeah, I
killed
mean,
it.
Bruce
They
Banner
killed it.
wasn't the Hulk.
Right,
But
and
in
then-
the book, he could turn into the Hulk.
I know.
Yeah.
And then I love the excuse, well, we'll explain that in a tie-in.
Well, maybe
What?
maybe the initial plan was that Civil War was one of those other universes that
Yeah.
Franklin created. They're like, he's just like, I'm just gonna make another Civil War 2 over there. Let's just see how it
Oh,
goes.
so like Age of Ultron, where they were like, you want to make no sense? We're going to tell a tie-in story, a big event
Yeah.
that doesn't tie in at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Who cares?
that's in its own world.
Whatever. But there are other books that Marvel's doing that they're not putting as much emphasis on, and they're still great. They're still good. Like,
Yeah.
if you are interested in all at the movie that's coming up recently or new for them, like with Doctor Strange, pick up the book. Go pick it up. It's awesome.
That's why
a
it's
great
there.
read.
Like
I
when
know.
they're like,
Hey,
okay, let's bring
I
back
am
Doctor Strange.
so
That's also
thankful
why
for
he
that.
crosses over in every other book.
Yeah.
I
When he
know.
crossed over in
Gwenpool?
Gwenpool, yeah, he crossed over in
Trust me.
Gwenpool, and then he went into the multiverse and he looked at our universe and said, "Oh, Benedict Cumberbatch is playing me. I approve." You're like,
I would have picked Gabriel Byrne.
All of a sudden, I was like, man, this book is great. I don't know if anybody noticed around like page
Well-
10, this book took a real turn for me and then like just went up there.
Gwenpool?
Yeah.
Gwenpool is the
I
weirdest
dig
thing ever.
Gwenpool.
No, I know.
The
But you know
first
I'm
issue
in love
came
with
out
that
and we
man.
were all like, it's the
We're like,
worst thing
no.
ever. Was it, Joel's the only one that liked it.
Yep.
It was, and then you guys were so hard on it, you made me stop. And only to come back and be like, it's good now.
Right. 5 issues in, I'm like, Joel, you were so right about Gwenpool. It's amazing. And he's
like, what?
I stopped reading that. Like, you told me it was horrible.
You told me it was bad.
You guys browbeat and peer pressured me away
Yeah.
from it. I guess I should go back now.
We're gonna have an after-school special for Joel. Like, don't let your friends tell you not to read
Yeah.
comics. It's okay.
We will not bully you out of your comics.
No, we will bully Joel out of whatever we want to bully Joel out of. That's Joel's role on this podcast.
It's
I'm
to
sorry,
be bullied.
you're
Like
right.
Joel, you're the new guy, man. The hazing's gonna happen.
It's been a very awkward last 2 days for me and Joel because like I've been trying to be nice to him. I want him to want to come back.
so that you can kick him
But
again.
at the same time, it's just
Oh,
the
dude, it's
same
like it's,
thing.
it's hilarious, guys. You should see it because like the first time we gave Joel a hard time, like we got off the podcast, and I was like, Joel. Well, I guess no, it was the second or third time he was, and I was like, Joel, just chill, man. I was like, Vinny he gives you a hard time, but it's because he loves you. He's like, oh yeah. Vinny called me up and he was like, Joel, I really hope like it wasn't really.
That
bad.
wasn't the second time. It was like a year into the
Whatever, man.
podcast.
Be quiet. We're cool. But no, it's.
They are cool. They've been very civil with each other.
Yes.
I would say it's been civil.
I will say this though, Joel has somehow managed to keep 2 people between me and him at all times since
Yes.
he's arrived in America.
To be that way, it's just nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Right now, he won't sit next to me.
Right?
This was his chair.
But no, this is it's again our goal here is not to dump on Marvel. It's the same discussion people were having with New 52 and DCE during Convergence. Fans like we as fans are passionate about comic books.
I mean, all of you guys are here because you're passionate about comic books, I would assume.
You guys, like,
Otherwise, you wouldn't need me listening to the
Or
podcast.
you're
to
passionate
begin
about
with.
podcasts, or you're waiting for the next panel to show up.
No, shut up, Sal.
How
I
many
mean,
people
you're all
came
here.
in to
But
just
no,
get
we don't want to know. We don't want to know. We're very happy that you're all here. Thank you all so much for being here
Yeah,
and not leaving.
absolutely.
To pass the time. That's why I'm here.
But no, like you guys all got into comics for different reasons. Some of you guys, got into comics because of New 52. Some of you guys got into comics because of, the original Marvel Now 1.0. Some of you guys were watching, Justice League Unlimited or the original Justice League show. Yes. And you guys sat down and you guys were like, oh my God, Wally West is amazing. I want to go read Flash comics.
Yeah.
Then you read about Wally West and you found out he was on the Justice League, and the Justice League segued you into Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, so on. With Marvel, it's the exact same way. Maybe you were watching, what was it, Avengers Assemble, the cartoon show?
Oh yeah,
Which
that was Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
No, Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a good one. We don't speak of the bad one.
No.
Okay, yeah, the good Avengers show. You guys were watching that, and that led you into other superheroes. But whatever the reason, you guys got into superheroes, and there are characters and teams that you latch onto.
Yep.
You latch on to the Teen Titans. You latch on to Captain America. You latch on to Superman, Batman, so
Red
on and
Hood.
so
A
forth.
lot of people latch on to Red Hood.
Yeah, Red Hood.
I've seen him a lot today.
Yep.
There's a lot of Red Hoods.
Yes.
Yes. And you
I did
guys-
not
you
think that
guys-
mask was that easy to make.
It's not.
You guys latch onto those characters and you fall in love with them. You're just like, this Wally West is my Flash.
Yes.
All right, not Barry Allen. Wally West is my Flash. All right. Like, yes.
Is this like a Trump thing? Hashtag Wally West is my Flash.
Yep, there you go.
Make Flash great
Build
again.
a wall and put the other Flash on the other side.
I mean, no, but that's
Do that, Benny, because you'll just radiate his molecules through that wall.
Oh God damn it! We can't get rid of the Flashes.
Because Wally's faster, you see.
But no, I mean, like some of you guys got into like Flash Rebirth. Jeff Johns busts out Flash Rebirth, and you guys are like, Flash Rebirth, and you pick it up, and you're like, Barry Allen's my Flash now.
Yeah.
Like I like Barry Allen. Whatever the reason is, you latch on them. And if there's any one thing you don't like, it's to see your characters, for lack of a better word, disrespected in comics. You're like, these characters have a super rich legacy. Wally West. Mark Waid gave us the Speed Force. All right, like Wally West was like, no, it's not just molecules and stuff. Like there's a force out there, and Max Mercury is like, yes, and I'm the first ever. Like,
I'm looking forward to finding out.
Do what?
What?
Oh no.
I looked over to Sal and I said, "Where is he going with this?" And his response was, "I'm looking forward to finding out."
I think I know where he's going. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
to get
Hang
there.
in there, folks.
Hold on, anyway.
I'll allow it.
These characters have extremely rich histories. And you sit down and you say, they have a rich history, and I've grown up with this rich history. Whatever this character happened to be, whatever this team is. And so for me, I sit down and I look at Marvel and I say, there's so many amazing stories that came out. You know, there's so many great stories that I grew up with that I've read over the course of my life, and then you sit down and you read Civil War II, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like this is it's super fast, super thought out. In my vision, Civil War II is the young heroes versus the old heroes.
Yes.
That's my vision. You know, it's the champions versus the Avengers.
Or they could just not call it Civil War II and just go Marvel's Minority Report. That would have just made more sense.
Like the story we have
no,
now, like you
Marvel.
don't call that Civil War II. You call that like you call that the road to Civil War II. That's what you call it.
And I think what Rob is trying to get at is that when you love a character like that, when you love a story like that, and you criticize it or will criticize something, it's not because we're angry at it or we don't like it anymore. It's that we're challenging them to do better.
Yes.
You know, we want them to do something more than what they're giving us right now. We're not happy with it. And if you're not happy with something, you have to let them know, otherwise they'll never know and they'll never change. They may not even change if they know that we're unhappy, but at least you got to try. So if we ever dump on something or we don't seem to be into something, it's just that most of the time we just want it to be better than what it is right now. We want a higher standard.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
That's it.
You know, I mean, because
Marvel, take your toys and go to your room for the evening.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow for breakfast.
Exactly.
I hope
And
you
we'll
think
talk
about what
about
you
it.
did. We will talk this over.
The thing is, we know that they can do better because they've done it better. Because we're already fans. Like, you got me somehow.
Exactly.
What are you doing to lose
Exactly.
me?
Yeah, and we all know too that
It's called the Clone
let's
Wars.
say you're into something and we're not. And let's say we do want it to be better, but you like it where it is. That's okay. This is all up to interpretation.
That's right. It's
Every single
subjective.
person in this room could pick up the same issue of a comic and get something completely different out of it. And that's okay. That's why we have so much variety. That's why we have so many publishers. That's why we have so many heroes. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's one of the great things about Rebirth is that, and the reason why we have it was because DC was struggling for so long with New 52. And we were seeing them go back and acknowledge their mistakes and build off of those mistakes into something much, much better. And that's one of the awesome things about it. And I'm sure Marvel will also get to that point.
Yeah.
Basically, I think it boils down to what my point has always been.
Yeah.
Whoever tells the best story is who you're going to follow at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they just can't seem to do that at the same time.
You know what it is? Like, you know what it is? Marvel had to be great to get where they are.
Exactly.
Right? And I've always maintained that like DC Rebirth is so successful because DC has stumbled in the past. We wouldn't need DC Rebirth if DC did everything right and made all the right decisions. But and now we're in a place where like everybody's loving Marvel movies and they're everyone's like, I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan now and I'm a huge Ant-Man fan now, and it's something you'd never hear 20 years ago. But there
It's
are
still kind of hard to hear that they're a fan of Ant-Man now.
I've seen at least 5 Ant-Mans today. Like it's amazing and something you'd never have seen like maybe even 5 years ago. But Marvel had to take steps to get there, and they have such rich and great stories that are drawn from to make these movies so successful. Before we move on to the next topic, I just wanted to
Well, the next topic's the Q&A. So that,
here's
does that
the
mic
thing.
work?
I don't know, but
Don't we have a sound guy? It does? Okay.
It does? Oh,
Sweet.
yeah, Mike.
So if you guys want to ask questions, we're going to line you up with the mic
Yes.
that's sitting right there.
And if not, we're just going to ramble.
But I wanted
Otherwise,
I wanted to see a show of
You can
hands.
go ahead and start lining up. It's fine.
If you have any questions, feel free to line up to the mic, and we'll get a gauge about how many people want to ask questions, and then we'll go from there. Because judging by the sheer size of this panel, we are going to have a lot of
We're
answers.
trying to gauge
and
how many questions there are.
Well, and
All
our
you
answers
guys
are
want-
going to go for a while.
Yeah.
And all you guys know, we can talk forever. So.
Right. Well, did you want to get a show of hands for what?
Oh, I was going to see how many people had questions,
okay.
but they're lining up, and that's enough.
And,
like
and,
this.
while we're waiting for the lineup,
But
is
just to
anybody keeping up with
capitalize.
Saga right now? Is anybody keeping up with Saga? That last issue. I'm not going to say anything.
Don't spoil
I'm
it.
not saying anything.
Of what? Wait,
that
what?
Saga.
last issue. The hell.
I also want to comment that there's a sim back there. I've been trying to figure out that crystal for like the first
Right
10
there.
minutes of this panel.
That is a sim.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There's a lot of great costumes in the room. I see Ward
Did you-
over there. I actually walked
Over the garden wall over there?
right here.
Yeah. I see a great Batman riding on
I was
the
gonna say-
dragon over there from. What's the name of that series?
And there is an adorable
How to Train Your
Supergirl
Dragon, yes.
right there. Look at that Supergirl. Best Supergirl I've seen.
She looks like she just arrived on the rocket.
I say bad or good.
But no, I mean, just as like a final thought.
Yes,
To
yes, wrap up your-
capitalize-
yeah, let's
to
wrap up that
capitalize on
point.
what Sal said.
Oh, God,
Sal's
he's wrapping it up.
100% right about
I love how this is the Comics Explained panel.
Whatever. just to have, with what Sal said, yes, Marvel's had incredible stories. One day, a guy named Jim Starlin sat down and he said, what would happen if like this insanely narcissistic, sociopath, psychopathic guy, got a hold of like all these gems that control all facets of the universe, like what would he do? Well, he'd walk out to the edge of a platform, he'd snap his fingers, and half the life in the universe would vanish. That's what he would do.
Yeah.
And he gave us that story, and it was an incredible story. Infinity Gauntlet is one of the best stories ever written in the history of comic books. At the same time, you know, it was Mark Waid, Alex Ross.
Oh, which one?
Kingdom Come?
Kingdom Come and Mark Waid, Alex Ross.
Mark Waid,
Yes.
Alex Ross.
That is one of the
like
best
they sit
comics.
down and they say, well, what would happen if Superman just gave up on humanity? If he was like, you know what, like I give up being a superhero, and he walked away, what would the world look like? And then suddenly we get this story where the Spectre shows up and says, like, if they don't do that, things are going to go crazy.
Yeah.
I just realized what the DCEU is doing. They're building Kingdom Come.
They already did that. It was called the Kingdom, and it was not great. I will say
They're doing the long haul.
No.
Superman just won't care for 20 years, and then we'll just get Kingdom Come.
No, this Superman does care. The other Superman
Did you
does.
agree that they were becoming the crime syndicate though? Because Batman has goggles now.
Oh, in the movies, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
in the DCEU.
That's how they fix the DCEU. They turn these guys into the crime syndicate, and then we get
Yes.
another movie of the real Justice League.
Who they show up through a portal.
Oh, God, dude, no, let me tell you
Brand
something.
Dustin and Brandon
I would
Routh.
pay.
Oh my
I
God.
would pay good money to see that, to see the
Yeah.
like, dude. Let me tell you something. If they come out at the end, Justice League comes out, and it's like, well, what are we going to call ourselves? We're going to call ourselves the Crime Syndicate. I would be
Right?
like,
Yeah.
yes, thank you so much.
I feel like we need to
All
start
right.
a Kickstarter or something for that, right?
Kickstarter the crime syndicate movie.
Hashtag.
All right, let's go ahead and take the first question. The gentleman is now sitting there patiently.
Very patient.
Let's do it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
How are you?
is that microphone?
Oh, see, it
Wait,
isn't on.
hang on.
Try again.
No.
Yeah, it's still up.
Use your stage voice. Top three worst? No.
No, there's a
You
lot
know what?
worse.
Here's the thing that sucks about Civil War II. Let's talk about Civil War II. We haven't talked about that yet. Is that like at the core, you know, like even the worst written stories at Marvel in any comics, but we're talking specifically about Marvel. Even the worst ones, they start with a germ of an idea. Somebody wanted to be creative, and he's like, "Hey, I want to tell a story, and it's about Atlantis attacking everybody." You know, like somebody cared. You know, with Civil War II, that's like that was, hey, guy in a business suit. Yes, other guy with a business suit. Well, Bob, I would like to make a lot of money today. Well, how about we take the thing that we did last time that made a lot of money and we put a 2 at the end of it and put it out at the same time, the movie with the same names coming out.
Right.
I think that sucks
So you're
more.
saying Civil War. You're saying Civil War 2 is a Dilbert cartoon.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, it's a corporate. It did not start with like Bendis like I want to tell Minority Report in the Marvel universe.
No.
That's not an original idea.
But
I think
it could
the
have started
problem-
with Bendis being like, I want to tell Civil War better than they told Civil War last time.
Yes, but that's not even. That's. Yeah,
I think the problem with Civil War, and I don't know if anybody can agree with me, I don't think it's an atrocious story. I think the problem with Civil War is that being the second big crossover after Avengers Standoff, which, while was kind of like
was all
jumbled
over the
everywhere,
place.
wasn't horrendous. We wanted something more, especially when that was the story competing with
you
DC Rebirth.
You had
I
Secret
thought
Wars.
Standoff was amazing. I
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah.
Well, I like Standoff. The only problem I hated about Standoff was the idea of you can read any part of it and know what's going on. No, that's not
No.
how comics work.
No. No, that's. Oh
That
god.
sounds right. We also have Secret Wars in between.
We also had
too.
Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And that was
So-
pimp.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the worst. I think the problem is that we expected more.
Yes.
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 Because
I
that
don't
was,
know why,
that was the
though.
competing event to DC
right?
Rebirth.
Yeah.
That's kind
to
of it.
reiterate Sal's point, we're not mad. We're just
Yeah.
disappointed.
Now that said, you asked about top 3 worst Marvel
Oh,
comics. What's the worst Marvel comic ever written? Or event?
Maximum
Marvel.
security. Maximum security, I thought was terrible. Let's have Ron and the Accuser. Let's have like Kree turn the Earth into a prison planet. Ron and the Accuser is going to be the warden, and the superheroes are just going to try to figure out how to free themselves.
All right, give it the second one because we got to keep moving here.
No,
we
no,
can't spend
just
20
one,
minutes
just
a
one.
question.
Oh, just
Okay.
one. Yeah,
just
yeah,
one.
I figured we just do one.
Joel?
Let us not forget Operation Galactic Storm, which I mean, come on, it's called Operation Galactic Storm.
No, that's that. You're full of hoo-ha.
It's in the
That
name.
story was good. That story was amazing. I loved
Operation
Galactic Storm.
That's fine.
I'll go with something more current. Age of Ultron.
Yes. Wow, what a dumpster fire.
No.
I'm sorry,
Age of
Brian
Ultron
Michael
was
Bendis.
amazing.
It was just not good.
No, okay. You don't have an event that doesn't take place in anything and then make it the big event.
No, but it really did destroy the universe, though. They really all died.
No, Age of Ultron was amazing for one simple fact, because they all get back to the base of to like their little hideout, and they're like, what are we going to do? It's like, well, I don't know. The only guy that should be leading us is freaking out, and Captain America's just sitting there.
Yeah, that was a cool cool
like,
moment.
That was amazing.
That was a cool poster. It's like
What's your worst one?
One More Day.
Yeah, hands down, I knew that was coming.
I didn't want to take his thunder on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that one.
Yeah.
So you can't second. You need a new one.
I know. Why do I need a new one?
I don't know. All right, Caitlin,
That
what's
was
yours?
part of the rules. There were rules.
What was mine?
Your
Yeah.
worst Marvel event ever.
I mean, you kind of took my Age of Ultron one.
Fair enough.
I would have.
Okay, fine. You can have Age of Ultron. I'll go with Heroes Reborn.
Right.
Yes.
I would also accept the Clone Saga.
Yay. I was going to say the Clone Saga, but there's a lot of Ben Reilly fans out there.
I know, but still.
Which, by the way, I'm
you
still
can't-
saying.
No, hang on. Here's the thing. That event, the problem is it went too long.
Yes.
You can't do that.
They
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They had an issue that literally was called 121 Ways to End the Clone Saga.
Yeah.
You needed that.
We got to move on to the next question.
Yes.
We cannot do 20 minutes of questions.
But you,
This
have
will
you
never end.
Seen a Kevin Smith Q&A?
Yeah, dude, this is how it goes.
I like how he waited all that time.
Thank
I know
you.
to say thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm a big fan of the Thor movies, well, specifically the Asgard stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Wow, here he is.
And I want to know where was a good place to start if I'm like into that.
Okay. Where's a good place to start with Thor? Like the Thor mythos?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple different places. Thor Disassembled is not a bad place to start because that picks you up with Ragnarok. That's the kind of death of Thor.
So go to the best spot. Don't start in the middle and go bad spot.
No. I'm saying that's a good spot. But
Okay.
Jason Aaron's run of Thor.
Yes.
That's to me the definitive place to start with a Thor because you learn like you literally
That's the
learn
God
everything.
Killer thing, isn't
That's
it?
God Butcher.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
God
Butcher,
Butcher.
yeah.
Like that tells you all the cool stuff that goes on.
I will-
Because-
It's been so consistent. It's been going on for so long. Even now, it's consistently one of the best books Marvel puts out.
And if you, when you're finished with Jason, because Jason Aaron's run, you're going to be like, I am in, and then you're going to want to go deep dive. Walt Simonson's run on Thor.
Yes, that is a good one.
Then you'll be like, oh, this is just charming.
And if you have Marvel Unlimited, you get to read them all.
And you know, Secret Wars is Thor's was a cool book, although it had nothing to do with
Yeah,
Thor.
Yeah.
But you know what? You'll be like, you'll see it. It's available.
Don't just keep making the list longer for the guy.
No, you do. You want to get in.
But-
This is a guy who saw the movies. This is the guy that Marvel wants.
This is the guy.
He is the man because Marvel's like we make the movies and then they'll buy the comics, right? Like the new readers. No, he's a real new reader.
He's
That's
it.
it.
And you might remember this too. Is it the Asgardian mythos that you're curious about?
Well, yeah, because I do like Norse mythology, and when I saw like the Asgard stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in. And then when I was like on Earth, I'm like, can we go back to the space Vikings?
No, you want to see more Kat Dennings making hilarious jokes.
If you want to, send me a tweet on Twitter.
He'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Just say like I'm the guy who asked a Thor question, and I can't remember what the issue is off the top of my head, but there is a Thor comic that runs over the entire history of Asgard.
That's cool.
All right.
That's
Thank
very
you.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So we gotta keep moving, guys.
Yeah, we
I know you want to give huge answers, but they're gonna kick us out.
Yeah, that's true.
In ComicPOP, there's a running joke of Alan Moore and
Grant Morrison.
Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
And who will fight? They debate.
Who would win in a fight?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Alan Moore versus Grant Morrison. I mean, obviously Alan Moore's going to win because.
Well, can we hear why?
I feel like Alan Moore would bring it to fisticuffs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, cool.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's because it's old.
Morrison got the vampire.
I mean, Grant Morrison would write himself into another universe in which he was made of like pure energy, and then it turns out he was actually Alan Moore's father the entire time. So he's like,
That actually sounds like a book from Grant Morrison I read.
yeah.
I actually kind
It's
of
called
want to.
Multiversity.
Is that in Multiversity?
Yeah, I think the Alan Moore I'm Your Father universe is is on the map, the Multiversity map. But yeah, I think Alan Moore edges out Grant Morrison because Grant Morrison seems like the kind of guy who's like, I don't want to fight with you. I just love what you do. I just love your work. Alan Moore's like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then he just shivs him.
Is Sal having a conversation with himself?
Yes. Trust me.
These are the impressions.
This is it. These are the jokes.
These are the jokes, kids.
I know.
Also, can you do like a short exchange about like you describing like Grant Morrison and Alan Moore like history and how ridiculous both comic creators are?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do an Elseworlds exchange about
Yeah,
that?
we'll do it. Definitely. Elseworlds Exchange is our podcast in which we talk about like random stuff.
So that's what we are.
I agree.
Because like it's a running joke of the confused how you just like add more
And Grant Morrison have like their problem. Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. Joel, you in?
Oh yeah, for that topic, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Oh, we're losing the mic. It's down. Mike, got yell.
Hey, Sal, like I'm definitely in for that topic too.
All right, come on in.
I'd like to be a part of it as
All
well.
right, so it's a weekly pool episode.
Hey.
Thank you. You saved my ass for my girlfriend, literally. When the Batman Beyond tie with the Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
My goodness. I turned to the lady, she was like, oh, no, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Hello, Miles Morales.
Hello.
Awesome costume.
You have the best dance moves that I've ever seen.
You go. I'm not doing it.
So I'm not sure if you guys have heard about the new event. X-Men versus Humans.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about it?
Can I take this?
Please.
Best, it tried really hard.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
No, it didn't.
It was literally Marvel just going, you will accept the Inhumans
Yeah.
or we will kill them.
They're like, well, I mean, unless, we get this movie right.
Yeah, unless like Fox wants to make a deal, and then like
Fox,
maybe.
this is your last. We have 4 issues. Give us the X-Men or they're dead.
Yeah. The Terrigen Mists are gonna kill them all.
Who's the guy that writes Alex Cross? He did a commercial that was so weird, but he was like, if you don't buy this Alex Cross book, I will kill this character.
There used to be comic book covers. I remember where it was like, buy this issue or I'll kill this cat. Like it was, they need to do more stunts like that where it's like Wolverine's dead.
Overall, Rob has yet to read it, but I think we've all informed him of what happened, and he's just shaking his head over and over.
Let me tell you guys something.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let me tell you guys something about me.
Truth.
Wait, Rob, we got like 10 more minutes.
Yeah, we have less than 10 minutes, so Rob, you have to do it in 10
minutes.
seconds. 10 seconds, go.
If the Inhumans, if anybody cared about the Inhumans, it wouldn't be a series of characters just pop in and out. Like people wouldn't be like, "Yay, the Inhumans are here!"
If people,
yes, we need an Inhumans movie. No.
If people cared about the Inhumans, they wouldn't be on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hey! Ghost Rider is doing great.
He's not an Inhuman.
Ghost Rider is doing great.
Now, having said that, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., your writing is amazing. We love it.
Yeah,
we would love
it's
to
pretty
be
good.
on it one day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I just wanted to say really quick, I love all your videos, all your content. My friends think I'm comic book knowledge god, but I get everything from all of you all.
That's how you do it.
Hang on to that.
Hey man, keep it going. Just tell them you know everything.
My question is, when it comes to making your videos and things, how do you do your research? Where do you go to get all these information?
We read comics.
So I go to the comic book store, right, and I make a pull list. And then I give that to my comic book guy. The pull list just says everything. And then I go pick up a fat stack about once a week. Then I read it.
That's pretty much what I do, and then anything that's really old, because like I was into comics until about the late 90s. When did the Clone Saga?
Yeah, about 1999.
So that's when I stopped reading.
97. Yeah.
The Clone Saga turned me away from comics, and I got back into them while I was deployed. So, like, the gap between, I rely on your guys' comments to figure out what I have to read. So somebody mentions, like a great example is someone just mentioned there's a story where Zatanna got shot in the neck by Joker and she had to write out her spells in blood. So I dug up that story, and it comes out next week. But but that I actually, for me, a lot of stories that I'm not already tracking is entirely based upon your guys' comments. Yeah. And everyone doesn't think I read them, but I literally go through the comments every day and see what everyone says.
He jumps on Skype and he just starts crying.
Yeah, I go on Skype and I pretty much complain to Sal when someone's mean to me.
And every once in a while, for when I'm doing like
we are, we have an issue. We go to each other for help, which is always.
Shut up, Tiffany!
Yeah, that's what Jill just did. Dude, I bought you like $30 worth of snacks and I shipped them from Jersey to here in 2 bags and I carried them through New York and you wouldn't even let me finish my sentence.
You're a monster, Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
Shut up, Joel.
Oh my
On
God.
that note, thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Well, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Moving on.
Hello guys, big fan.
Hi.
Secret Wars is over.
Yeah.
We got some pretty good stories and bad ones. I want to know what was in your opinion, the worst stories that came out of Secret Wars. Me personally was Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I liked Ghost Riders.
I like Thor's. Thor's was amazing.
I like the World War Hulk, actually. I thought that one was fun.
I hated that one.
Yes.
What if Amadeus Cho just turned the world into Hulks? That was cool. That was a cool concept.
Renew your vows.
I don't know how people feel about this, but I really liked Siege. I like
Siege was
Abigail
cool.
Brand a lot.
Abigail Brand is
In 1872.
I'm all about World War Hulk, and that's partly what made me so mad about what happened.
And I would like to mention honorable mention Where Monsters Dwell, but don't read it if you're under 18.
Oh my God! No, that was Where Monsters Dwell was literally just a script that Garth Ennis had, and they're like, "We'd like you to write for Marvel." He's like, "Yeah, here."
Wow, that was really fast, Garth. Yeah, I'm really good at it.
5 minutes.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
We're running low on time here, so next.
Next.
Hey guys.
Hey.
You guys were talking about favorite comic book events. My favorite from DC is Blackest Night. From Marvel, I love Avengers vs. X-Men. What are your guys' favorite all-time favorite?
Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wait, is that an
Blackest
event?
Night.
Yeah, I guess it is an event. It's like a
Yeah,
5-year-long event
It's a 5-year-long event.
that culminates with Secret Wars.
Hey, okay, can I give some love to Throne of Atlantis? That and For the Hour were 2-1 that made me think, man, this new 52 thing might actually work.
Then you read other stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, favorite event?
Yeah.
That's such a hard question.
Okay, Tiffany.
Jeez, man.
All right, Caitlin.
How's the bed?
Okay, back to Tiffany.
Okay, back to Tiffany. Jeez, okay, I gotta answer right now. Well, then I'm gonna go with the thing I liked right now. I really did like Last Days of Magic. It's like they wrote it just for me.
I like Spider Island.
Wait. Which Spider Island?
The real one.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You didn't like the Battle World one?
It was fine.
How's it go?
Hey.
Hi.
Just wondering if you could recommend any artists that we should see over at Artist Alley.
Archer.
Frank Cho, I think, is around there.
Yeah, he's there.
Yep.
And
Meredith
Amanda
Finch is
Connor.
over there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's writing right now. David Finch is the draw.
Yeah.
God, Amanda Connor.
Arthur Adams is here.
Oh, is he really?
Yes. I have to get my Fantastic Four signed.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know the one.
I went to Robert Vendetti and got my Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Draper signed.
Yeah. Oh, also the Simonsons. Walt and Louis Simonson are here.
Literally the most adorable.
If you
people
talk to
ever.
them, just go like, hey, what was? Ask any question, and they'll tell you an enchanting story like he's your grandpa. It's amazing. Yeah.
How's it going?
What up?
Quick question: would you guys be doing a special episode of Back Issues with
Oh, with the crew?
Yes, Sal.
Yeah, we would like to do that.
We're trying to make that work.
We're trying to make that work. We just got to get a quiet space.
Yeah, for the record, our schedules are super packed this year. So
Yeah.
that's what's that's
But
causing
they are
issue.
happening. We're working on
We're
it.
working on it. We're really.
what story and who would narrate?
I would probably run it just because it's my show.
You should let me run it.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. My original plan I actually wound up doing, which was The Death of Spider-Man. And I guess I was thinking about doing the Batman Meets Captain America by John Byrne book. Kind of fun. Such a great book. I was like, you guys didn't read that. We'll do that one.
Thank you.
Alright guys, so my question is, next year here at Comic Con when I'm 21, can I buy you guys all here?
Yes.
Anytime.
Yes.
Thank you, man.
And wait, before he goes, I love your shirt.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
was your name, beer purveyor?
Thank you, Sean.
Sean,
Okay.
I'll see you next year.
Now,
Yeah.
we're holding you to that. All right, next.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. I was reading Marvel, and just recently, by accident, I picked up this series called Tomboy by accident.
That is amazing!
It's so good! It's so
It's amazing!
The art is like bubblegum pop, magical girl.
I think I'm
and then
deaf
it
in my left ear
drops
now.
That shoe and kills everybody. It just pulls a Madoka. It's like Monica Magica, the F out of it.
It's
so good. It's just like,
that right there is
she's a
actually
teenager, and then it's like she's not cute no more. She's gonna kill you.
that's actually is one of the ones you guys recommended, and I went out and was like, this looks so weird, and I loved it. It was great.
So, about to read 7 and 8 later tonight, but I want to know from you guys, what other kind of non-DC Marvel brands do you recommend right now?
Okay.
Oh, dude, Ninja
Monstrous is good.
No,
that is
you're-
some good shit. You're gonna want to read Saga. That's a classic, oldie but goodie. Faith
Whoa,
is
whoa,
great.
whoa. No,
Rat Queens. Oh, Rat Queen.
You don't get to take my Saga from me. I have been touting Saga.
Since issue 1.
Years.
Yep, Saga.
For years. No, dude, check out
Wayward's
Image.
good.
Image has something for everyone. Just go up there, wander around. If you're into horror, if you're into sci-fi, they will have something for you. And what's nice about that is typically they keep them contained. You know what I mean? So you could pick up a trade for like $10. That's a good way to get into it. And if you buy 3 trades, you get a free t-shirt. Go up to the booth.
We've done it.
Go check it out.
Yep.
Boom's got some great stuff. And check out Vertigo.
We've got
to.
I've got to really cut you all off because we have to wrap it up. The last 3 people in the line, we'll get with you and we'll give you. Well, ask you guys a question. We'll get with you in a minute. Hold on, because we got to wrap up the panel because we're at our timer, and they're going to get very angry. Yeah. And then at Comic-Con.
Can we get 30 seconds?
Yeah.
All right. So Valiant, right? I'm making movies soon. Which Valiant character are you looking forward to most being in a movie?
Exo-Man War.
Exo-Man War.
Everyone just goes.
Ninja, definitely.
Bloodshot.
Oh yeah, definitely Bloodshot for me.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right. We'll get with you guys in a minute. We'll ask you. Oh, you got it? Quick?
Yeah.
Quick question? Go.
I could wait until after the panel. Basically, I have a friend who does a drawing live stream, and one of his best viewers recently had a tragedy, but they both love your videos, comics, the story, and comics explained. I was wondering if I could just get a video, just picking them maybe after the panel.
Yeah, we'll get with you right after the panel.
See you at the end.
Last question.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Real quick, I'm loving Injustice right now, and I don't read comics all that much. How do I slowly dip my toe into reading more and more?
My biggest recommendation has always been go grab the team books, see the heroes that you like the most, and then you can grab their individuals based upon that.
Justice League, Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah.
Watch our channel.
DC's area. Like, you go to DC, you go to London, so we're going to do a bit about news. Mark, you're still here. We're going to be heading out. We'll chat with any of you guys that want to chat. We'll do what we can.
Sunday pass doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's going to be outside, so if you don't have a Sunday pass, you can still meet up with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all